Cheers. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We just thought we'd do a quick video to cover one of the View's, what was it, a co-host?
Yeah, she's one of the co-hosts on The View, and we want you to see all the other hosts' reaction when she lets them know that she went and got a gun for self-defense.
Living in LA, by the way.
So just pay attention to how some people may react when they find out the other person has a gun for self-defense. Now, before we go ahead and play the video, I want to give a small disclosure. I love the Second Amendment. I don't even have a gun yet. But I think that amendment should be protected. That being said, if people don't like guns, they shouldn't feel pressured to explore gun culture, or it's basically, you don't have to be pro guns.
Not at all.
You know, some people, that's like a phobia to them. All they think about is maybe murder or fucking trauma that could be caused by gun violence and shit like that, right? So I'm very like open to understanding that some people it's not for them.
No, definitely.
You know,
definitely.
But
go for it.
Other people's rights should not be infringed because you're on the fence of gun culture and gun rights, or you're against gun rights.
Yeah, it's actually
that's my personal opinion.
I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. Like, I'm an avid gun enthusiast. I myself never try to shove it down people's throats because I know it'd be annoying. Like, it'd be annoying for someone telling me that's anti-gun trying to shove that shit down my throat. So I agree with this dude. But let's take a quick look and fuck it. We'll see how it goes.
Wait, actually, before we do, this is something I was thinking about the other day. I was reading that I think it's Guatemala and Mexico that also have gun rights in their constitution.
They do, but Mexico's is very limited.
Yeah.
Mexico, you have to go to the one specific gun shop in the country that is in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And they say that they don't make it impossible, but they make it extra long and extra hard to purchase a weapon. So literally, they say they only sell about 1,000 guns a year.
Dang. And
because the process is super long.
Yeah, that sucks. And do you know about Guatemala's gun culture?
No.
Like how?
I don't know much. I honestly don't know much about it. I didn't study. The only reason I studied about Mexico is because, like I said it before, like I've always thought about possibly living over there. So I wanted to know, like, hey, can I or can I not bring my guns that I have here to Mexico? Because I know you could do it with a special permit, but it's only when you're hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it works when you're living there. Mm-hmm. Anybody knows, let me know. Fuck, I want to know.
Yeah. But
that's the only reason I found out about the gun laws in Mexico.
For sure.
But
all right, let's play the video.
Play it.
It's about how more black women were becoming gun owners. And you just became one of them, Sherri, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I bought a 9mm.
Why?
Gun because, well, I don't know why you laughing, but
Okay, we're not even 10 seconds in, and right off the bat, she's asking her why she's buying a gun. And if this wasn't televised or whatever, I think anybody else would have been like, 'cause it's none of your fucking business, you know? Like, I'm doing it because I want to. Like, I honestly don't think you should go ahead and have to give people a thorough explanation as to why you do whatever you decide to do with your own personal life. So right off the bat, they're not gonna try to shit on her specifically, but they're gonna do it.
But I disagree with you a little bit. I think that's just how some people are with, like, when you deliver news to them, like, oh, hey, I'm moving to a different state, and somebody that might be really close to you that could never have imagined that would be like, why the fuck are you moving to Ohio?
All right, yeah, that's
you don't know
true.
Nobody in Ohio.
You actually make a good point.
Or, you know,
all right,
so
I stand corrected.
Not corrected, but it's just like, you know, that's how
I jumped the gun on this one. I think I jumped the gun on this one.
Because
I agree with you.
Because yeah, you don't know who in your life you might share something with, and it might come off to you as like, damn, you know, you don't want me to succeed, or you might. It could be that, or it could just be that they don't fully understand that life choice you just made. Like, oh, I got a tattoo. Why'd you get a tattoo? No one in your family has tattoos. So
Why are you gonna get one?
So they just might have a hard time understanding. Like, all right, so no one. I know your grandparents. I know your uncles and aunts. I know your mom. Your cousins, I know them. None of them have tattoos, but you got a tattoo. So I could understand. I'd be like, wait, you got a tattoo?
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just one of those life choices. I feel like. But you gotta understand, it's the whole crowd laughing at her though.
Yeah, dude. See, like everybody was laughing, and she even said, "She's like, I don't know why y'all laughing."
Yeah.
So.
You know, during the quarantine, I felt really helpless, Joy. When we're talking about depression, I felt like Jeffrey would look at me like, you know, he was so scared. I get these little alerts in my neighborhood app about it's going to be a march through the neighborhood. And I started feeling like, how am I going to protect my son if something happens? And I got some of my girlfriends who are actresses, and we all went to a gun shop in California. There's only 2 black-owned gun shops. I think it was like a Redstone Firearms, Geneva and Jonathan. And we went, and I felt very empowered when I bought this gun. I took lessons. I took the test. I go to the range with my girlfriends like every other week. And it just makes me feel like at least if something happens, I can protect my child.
You heard her. She said she felt very empowered, which I think it's a good byproduct of people that. And you also heard her. She said she went and took lessons. She didn't just go buy a Glock and just
started fucking around.
Yeah, go keep it on her fucking drawer. So I think that's.
And she went with her friends.
Yeah, her actress friends.
Actress friends. So that already proves that even those actress friends are concerned about their safety with the increased violence and crime that's going on in L.A.
Yeah, Los Angeles. But California, to be specific, I heard that L.A. got super dangerous.
Well, yeah. What did the police chief of L.A. say? He's warning tourists not to come to L.A. because he can't guarantee their safety. Yep. What does that tell you? It's true. Like, for anybody that's watching, whether you're a woman, I always say, and I'm a strong proponent on saying, women need to get guns. Like, the first people we should worry about making sure they get guns are women. Because that is a huge fucking factor in your life and potentially being a victim of a crime. Because think about it. Yes, self-defense classes are good. Like being into martial arts or whatever the fuck. That's not a bad idea if you want to do that. Like for self-defense. That's perfect. But keep in mind, you can only do so much depending on your size and your stature. Jay over here, he's like 5'11", 6 feet.
5'10". Yeah, 5'10".
If he went and approached somebody that was half his size, even if she was experienced, it would take her a lot to overpower this dude. You know? Or if it was me fucking 300 pounds, going after a woman that's like 4 foot nothing, even if she was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, bro, she could only do so much, bro. Because obviously of my stature. You know? And it's like, if she had a gun on the other hand, I am almost certain no motherfucker would try to step up on anybody.
Guns are like the great equalizer.
They're a big equalizer, dude. Like women have to realize, dude, if you guys were packing all the time, you guys would be unfuckable because nobody would want to fuck with you at all. Especially if you're in a place where they know people are allowed to carry their guns with them, like Arizona or Texas or whatever. Like, there is crime in those states, but it's not as bad as here. Why? Because people think twice before they commit a crime on somebody because the likelihood of that person carrying a gun is much higher than here in LA, where you know at least 80% of the people around you are not going to be carrying a gun because the state and the county make it so fucking hard for people to have a means to defend themselves.
Yep.
But
yeah, I think it's ideal. What's the saying? It's better to have it and never need it than to get caught without it, and like, you know, that's the reason why
need it and then not have it.
You lose your life at the hands of an assailant, a robber, an intruder, like a guy that broke into your house.
Yeah, and it's great. She feels empowered, dude. Like she feels it by barely being a gun owner, her first time gun owner. She already feels the change. Like, bro, I feel like I got balls now. I could fucking pump up my chest to anybody that tries to harm me or my child, her being a single mother, doesn't have a man to protect her, what else is she gonna do? I think it's great how she says that she feels super empowered now that she has that.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
tell you, I've had so many friends, my black girlfriends also get guns, especially during the pandemic. And they wanted me to get a gun. And as a former federal prosecutor and someone who has seen, been to crime scenes and has seen a lot of gun violence in my career, you know, I know the statistics and that when you do have a gun in your home, you are more likely to kill a loved one or a relative. And the suicide rate goes up in your own home when you have a gun. And I understand about the training, but I will say, when I asked them, why are you getting a gun? One said, I Googled Civil War and 2020. One said, it's the propensity of certain people to initiate violence when they don't get their way. And in the article that we were given, it said, when you are being targeted, you hear stories like Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland, and you have these incidents going on all across the country. You want to know you have at least a chance of survival because some people are radical. And I think we have to remember that the FBI has made it clear that the white supremacy is the most persistent and lethal threat to the country. And I think that is why so many black women and black people in general are now arming themselves. But I still believe that in this country, our readiness to sort of allow arms to be purchased at will and fired at will has led to violence and hatred becoming a really popular pastime.
You know,
in this
let me just
country.
give you an
She said a few things there. She said, you know, those statistics that she mentioned, I definitely want to look into that because I've heard the same. I've heard that, you know, when you do own a gun, a certain increase in suicide rates go up. Okay, a certain increase in violence in the household can go up. Something I want to get better at is not just dismissing something because it might sound a little off to me. So I want to go ahead and look at that because it's also important to disclose that. Just like if I sold products that, hey, you know, I'm selling shit that could cause you an illness. Like, you know, when we go to restaurants, and it'll tell you in the restaurant.
Oh, the products here might cause cancer, whatever the fuck.
I went through a little phase where I was like, bro, what? What in Carl's Jr. could cause me cancer?
Honestly, the way I see it is just if people bitch enough about it, they'll fucking be like, okay, fine, we'll make it into law that you have to know what's in it. You know?
No, but I think it's good to disclose shit like that.
I mean, yeah, but dude, even water could fucking kill you, so they might as well just put a disclosure. Hey, drink too much of this water, you're gonna fucking wash the salt in your body, you could fucking kill yourself. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, people bitch enough, like, they're gonna be requesting this shit. But she's not entirely wrong about the whole thing of suicides going up. Like, it is a possibility, but even then, the suicide rate here compared to the rest of the world, we're not even in the top 10. Like, statistically speaking, like, we're not even in the top 10. And the only reason they count it here is, I still don't know why, but we're the only country in the world that counts suicide by gun as gun violence deaths. Which, last time I checked, you don't commit suicide out of violence. For the most part, you do it because you want to end your life, right?
You see, that gets into...
I don't think you do it because you want to be a violent person.
That gets into semantics. Because if I shoot you, that's violence. If I shoot myself, that's not.
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
To me, that's semantics.
Because you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You're not doing it to hurt like people outside out of anger or whatever. You're doing it because you're emotionally unstable, you're depressed or whatever. So you just bow, you know?
Yeah, but how would you describe a violent death? Like if I found your corpse and it was gruesomely
I feel like
over.
I feel like if it were a violent death would be like if someone were to do it to somebody else rather than one person doing it onto themselves.
Right. But
maybe.
But then you come across my corpse and boom, it's a big ass gunshot in the head. And you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like blood. He's missing his head just like that other guy.
The top of his skull's fucking out.
Oh wait, he did it to himself. Oh, okay, well then it's no longer a violent death. You know what I mean? It's just
to
me,
I get
it's
you.
semantics.
I get you. No,
But,
I could agree with that.
But either way, like I think it's important what she said. Despite that though, I still think I would like to see more people become gun owners.
But I also think she might have said it in the because the way she's saying it, bro, I don't know if it's the network themselves making them do this or if it's her, but they're kind of like trying to discourage her from her buying the gun. Like they're putting all these statistics on her, and she's just looking like dumbfounded, like, bro, what the fuck? Like you could tell the look on her face. I don't know if it's just me saying it, but the look on her face looks like she feels like she was set up. Like she got that look like, oh shit, I didn't think they were gonna come at me over this.
You gotta understand too, though. I know The View to be way more like left leaning. Wasn't what's her name?
Whoopi?
Oh, well, she's missing too. But the Republican chick, the daughter of John McCain, his daughter was on the View.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, she was the blonde, and she was the I think the one like conservative on the show. And you know, I give her props because oftentimes in discussions, she was the only one with like a very strong Republican conservative view.
Viewpoint,
Everybody
yeah.
else was more like, you know,
Very liberal.
minded. We're more like, you know, for democratic views and policies and shit like that. So you got to understand, gun ownership and gun proliferation, that's definitely more of a conservative view. Very progressive minded people think, why do we need this? Let's get rid of it. Whereas it's very conservative to hold on to that because it's ingrained in the Constitution. So it's very traditional to hold on to that. That's what conservative is. You know, you hold on to traditions. And so I guess what we're seeing here is somebody who, I don't know her policies, I don't know her worldviews. The girl in the middle, the one that just
From
got
what I
gun.
heard, she was mostly like left leaning.
So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it's like hearing a conservative being like, you know what, man, fucking, I'm pro-abortion.
What the fuck?
Everybody else at the table that's traditional conservative would be like,
Wait, what?
how the fuck? How did this happen? How did you, of all people, now you got this very left-leaning view?
Yeah, see, but the way you're wording it, bro, is different. You're wording it with the intent of asking questions. Like you didn't follow up with saying, "Well, bro, you know that you're gonna go to hell, bro, if you believe in abortion." No. You know, that's kind of what they're doing to her here, because they're going like, "Oh, well, I think it's great that you bought a gun, but me working as a DA, federal DA, I had to witness violent crimes, gun crimes take place, and now statistically speaking, there's more chance of somebody committing suicide in the household."
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of discouraging her. You didn't come at the subject like that. You just came out with the intent of, hey, I want to know why, you know? You didn't come out with, I'm going to try to change your mind, fucker. That's kind of the feel I'm getting. I may read it wrong. I may be reading it wrong here. But the way they're coming out so far, that's the read I'm getting. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, they're trying to discourage her for the fact that she decided to empower herself and buy a gun. And if that is the case, that's bullshit. Like, they shouldn't be doing that shit. They should just be like, hey, we may disagree with it, but good on you, man. If this makes you feel empowered, this makes you feel good about yourself, go for it.
You know that she was reading from her Cliff Notes, and she was saying that one of her friends said the reason why I'm getting a gun is because of the fear of civil war. That's something I've been hearing in the political ether for not a while, but you know, it's very recent. I would say like the past year, where some people feel like there's an incoming civil war in America. I'm not gonna be tooting that horn.
No.
It's gonna take a lot for me to even toot that horn. I'm aware of what people are saying, but I'm not just gonna sit around and be like, oh well, fuck it, because what I'm not gonna do is be so quick to dismiss friendships and family.
That's true.
Just because they're on the complete opposite when it comes to certain political policies. It's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot for me to get to the point where I'm gonna be like, you know what?
Civil War's coming.
This friendship, I can't believe it went from us being cool to now we argue about this shit that, bro, it's just lifestyle choices, and now we hate each other. It's gonna take a lot before I like bump heads with my friends like that or family like that. Thank God I don't have anybody in my life that is close to me and is saying like, oh, you know, you're cool with this. Oh, I can't be friends with you, because I think my friendships are very solid.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really I don't really care too much for those flight by night kind of friendships. I think the very few friendships I have, like real, they're solid. So it would take a lot more. They'd have to find out I was like a serial murderer for them to be
Ted
like,
Bundy 2.0.
Yeah, for them to be like, dude, you like lose my number, you know?
Piece of information. Okay. Okay, no, because I'm a big gun control person. Back in the 60s, the NRA fought alongside the government for stricter gun regulations. Why? Because there was an effort to keep the guns out of the hands of African Americans as racial tensions grew.
Yeah. They wouldn't
Okay.
even give Dr. King a concealed carry permit. The same man that was killed by gun violence.
So if more black people get guns, you're going to see bigger gun control laws. Watch.
And I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying as a single woman,
Yeah.
the helplessness I felt. And when I looked at my son and he looked at me like, Mom, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I knew physically I'm not able to combat. I take self-defense lessons.
What do you think, Essie, about
Protect
this?
I'm a gun owner as well.
You are.
And you don't have to sell me on the empowerment I feel, knowing how to use firearms and
Right.
having firearms. But it breaks my heart that so many people in this country feel so unsafe, that women feel unsafe from men, that black and brown people feel unsafe from the police, that Asian American people feel unsafe from discrimination, that kids feel unsafe in their cities. I mean, that breaks my heart. And as much as I love that you are now a proud gun owner and someone who's, I know, going to be real responsible with your gun, it breaks my heart that we are so quick to
I don't
the
know if
gun.
I'm proud. I'm just, that's the only thing I feel like I'm doing.
We have
get it.
We have to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have to go. I feel if I got a gun, I'd shoot myself. I'd shoot myself in the foot. I'm such a klutz.
Keep it in a place where I keep my gun. I keep my gun next to my, in the drawer next to my special toys. So if you come in my house, if you come in my house, you're going to get a happy ending or an ending. I'm just saying.
See, like right off the bat, dude, when like that's how you know you're irresponsible or you shouldn't be meant to own a gun when you come out with that shit where you're just like, oh well, if I had a gun, I'd shoot myself because I'm such a klutz. Then yeah, you're probably one of those people that shouldn't be owning a gun.
And there definitely are those kind of people.
Yeah, there are definitely those kind of people. Maybe you shouldn't be owning a gun. And then to try to bring up old fucking articles like about fucking the NRA trying to take away guns from black folks, which is true, which is why I myself don't support the NRA. Fuck the NRA. It's different now. When the hell have you heard about minorities getting restricted access to guns? Dude, we're fucking minorities. I myself am a minority. I've been able to buy guns no problem. I got fucking homies that have been able to buy guns no problem that aren't white or don't look white. So it's just like her off the bat trying to say that thing is just bullshit, you know? Like that they're going to make more gun control because minorities are buying weapons? Really? If that's the case, then they would have done all kinds of crazy gun control when the Asians defended themselves during the LA riots in the 90s. And they didn't. Why? Because they saw, hey, they had to defend their businesses, they had to defend their property, they had to defend their livelihoods. Right?
Yeah, but I also did see, and I did ask myself, I used to ask myself, like, because I've heard about gun control, I heard about people advocating for gun control, and I don't know if you remember, it's been a while, and I don't want to jinx it, I don't want one to fucking happen, but there was a while where mass shootings were going on, and people would say, oh, this is all a hoax, this is all fucking set up to cause gun control. Other people saying, well, this is not a hoax, but this is still gonna cause gun control.
I don't know. Like, I feel very, very happy for Sherri Shepherd that she bought herself a firearm. Like, especially the fact that she's going to gun ranges every now and then to make sure she stays on top of her training and the fact that she's becoming such a responsible gun owner. And she said it herself that even though she takes self-defense classes, she can only do so much to protect herself and her kid. She says it herself. And it's true. Like, you could only do so much before it goes to shit.
Yep.
You know?
And it might make some of her friends, it might make some people uncomfortable, but I don't think she should sacrifice her safety.
Not at all.
You
Just
know?
to make people happy?
Like,
Fuck that.
They don't have to like it. They don't have to like it. I can't think of it right now, but maybe somebody really close to me one day would do something that I'm like, hey, man, I mean, weird. I don't really agree with it, but I don't think that should be them sacrificing their choice.
Yeah.
You know? So I think what we saw there is just her and her co-host. One of her lifestyle choices kind of makes them a little uncomfortable, but she shouldn't have to sacrifice it just for their comfort.
I agree.
If they're real friends, they should be like, hey, look, man, that's a lifestyle choice, and I don't agree. But, and one thing I will say, hopefully this makes it way more like mainstream for ideas from this side of the political spectrum to hop over to this side and likewise, you know?
I agree.
Because it's, gun ownership is gun ownership. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because I heard that, a lot of people on the left, they're pro-gun too.
A lot of them are becoming pro-gun now.
Yeah.
A lot.
It shouldn't be seen as just something, the right wing.
Yeah.
It should just be, look,
It's something that both sides could get something out of.
Yep.
But let us know what you guys think.
Are we tripping?
Are we tripping? Is The View tripping? Is Sherri Shepherd tripping?
Or is Brandon Tater tripping?
Or is B Tater tripping? Let us know. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.